The advancement of education is one of the qualifications that must be fulfilled by a generation to be able to become steering holder of national civilization. Along with the times, the utilization of information technology and education has been widely used, such as electronic learning or commonly called e-learning, as a learning tool and education evaluation. The learning process, one of which is assessment, aims to find out the achievement of the learning process and the level of understanding of the student to the material present. This form of judgment consists of attitude assessment, cognitive assessment, and skills assessment.
However, cognitive assessment tend to be used by teachers to provide a test at the end of each delivery of basic competencies. Ideally, an assessment is done not only at the end but given during the learning process. This is called a formative assessment or assessment for learning. The characteristic of formative assessment is the existence of giving feedback for students to improve the learning process. On the implementation in school, there are several obstacles such as limited time studying in class and the large number of students, so that it is not optimal, and sometimes causes the teacher give the feedback late, even though the feedback is very influential on learning results.
This obstacle can be overcome with using website based on system. Based on Unit's research, the development assessment instrument by providing feedback online is very helpful for students because it is given immediately. Based on the result of the interview in February 2020, which was done to several students of 10 grades randomly, it was found that physics classes are often empty. This results in reduced cognitive skill of students for physics learning.
To overcome this problem, an assessment system is needed that can improve the cognitive skill of students through formative assessment, which is balanced by providing immediate feedback by using co-formative. This research aims to reveal the effect of using co-formative in improving students' cognitive skill in physics.
Co-formative is a web application for computer devices in the form of a site that teacher can use to examine students' understanding by asking questions, receiving results in real time, and then providing direct feedback to students. Co-formative can help teachers carry out formative assessments in schools with a lot of features such as creating classes, creating variations of questions, and inserting images to support questions made. In addition, this website has some characteristics in the form of feedback, adding worksheets, pictures, videos, and other materials that can be used by students to obtain information. The students can create a co-formative account using their own Google account. Every question is answered by the student, then put into the teacher's account. The teacher can see the answer by the student and will be visible to the part of the material not yet understood by the student. Then, the teacher can provide the feedback directly to each account that the student has.
The design of this research uses posters on the control group design that both classes are given different treatment. The class that is given treatment is called experimental class, and the class is not given the treatment called the control class. The treatment given in this research in the form of feedback, in the form of formative assessment with the same learning methods, is discovery learning. The experimental class is the student will get the treatment of feedback through the co-formative website. The second class is called a control class that gets conventional feedback through paper-based tests. The research was conducted at Jihan Senior High School, Semen Regency, Special Region of Yogyakarta, in February to March 2020. The population in this trial, the 10th grade school of Jihan Senior High School. The research sample was taken 2 classes randomly as an experimental group and a control group of 50 people. While the data collection techniques used in this study were carried out through tests and questionnaire release. The analysis technique using the analysis prerequisite test consisting of a normality test and a homogeneity test, then proceed with hypothesis testing using the general linear model multivariate test. The decision-making in GLM multivariate test that H0 is rejected if the significant value is less than 0.05 and H0 is accepted if the significant value is more than 0.05. The hypothesis proposed in this study is H0 is the same as there is no difference in the effect of giving feedback through performative on improving student cognitive skill. H1 is the same as there is difference in the effect of giving feedback through performative on improving student cognitive skill.
After completing the learning process, the experimental class is given a quiz via GoFormative, while the control class is given a quiz via PBT or paper-based test to obtain cognitive skill data. As a result, there is a difference on increasing cognitive skill between experimental class and control class. In addition, an increase in cognitive skills of students in experimental class is higher than students in control class.
The difference in the effect of providing feedback on improving student cognitive skill can be seen from the result of GLM multivariate analysis. Based on the analysis of normality, the significance of cognitive skills improvement results in control class and experimental class was 0.061 and 0.096. Whereas for homogeneity analysis, the significance of cognitive skill improvement was 0.324. Both significance for each test have significant more than 0.05, so it can be concluded that the increase in cognitive skills of students is normally distributed and homogeneous. After the prerequisite test analysis is fulfilled, then the hypothesis analysis then can be performed. Hypothesis test results show the result of the significance of an increase in cognitive skills that is less than 0.05, so that H0 is rejected, and it can be concluded that there is a difference in the effect of giving feedback through GoFormative on improving cognitive skills of students.
That is because the students get reinforcement and encouragement from the feedback given in a short time. The feedback is given the day after the evaluation when the students still have high enthusiasm and curiosity for the truth of their answers. Data collection is carried out in 3 cycles with details of one cycle completed in 3 times 45 minutes with material, work, and energy. At the end of each cycle, an assessment is carried out in quiz form to measure the level of cognitive skills of students. The experimental class had an average increase in cognitive skills of 3.88, while the control class of -2.64. This shows that the feedback is given fast and continuously able to improve the cognitive skills of physics, so that the students in the experimental class, through providing quick feedback through the GoFormative, will get more reinforcement and encouragement to correct errors in learning material provided than the control class.
Based on the results of experimental studies that have been carried out, it can be concluded that there are differences in the influence of the use of GoFormative in providing feedback on improving cognitive skills. Giving feedback through the GoFormative has more effect on improving student cognitive skills than conventional giving.